If you're in your 20s, there's a good chance you're wasting money in ways you don't even realize. So today I'm going over 12 purchases that honestly make me cringe when I see people make them. And I want to make this clear. This isn't coming from a place of judgment at all. I'm not perfect with my money either, and I've definitely made a lot of these mistakes myself. But at the same time, if you never take control of where your money is going, it's really hard to build anything long term, like saving, investing, getting ahead, any of that. Because if your money is constantly leaking every month, it's hard to grow no matter what the economy is doing. And yeah, inflation is real. Everything feels expensive, but as young adults, we can't control any of that. What we can control, however, is the small decisions we make every single day with our money. So let me walk us through 12 purchases I don't think anyone should be making, or at least things you should be way more aware of when you're buying them, and why they are simply just bad purchases. This might get a little ranty because I'm a little passionate about it, and I don't have many notes here, so just bear with me. First one, I'm gonna start with this DoorDashing. Now look, I get the convenience of DoorDashing 100%. Again, you can get food delivered straight to your door, it can be your favorite food, and sometimes it seems reasonable. However, so many people I know, especially at a young age, are making this a consistent habit. However, there's an issue with DoorDashing. You have to pay the servant's fee, the convenience fee, you have to pay a tip, hopefully if you're being generous. And by the time you do that, you take a $5 cravings box from Taco Bell, and you're making it about 15. I would say that's a little bit ridiculous, at least in my book. Now again, I'm not saying from time to time you can never DoorDash, but for the average person, the average 20-year-old, the average 30-year-old even, DoorDashing every day, DoorDashing every week, or DoorDashing even frankly every month is just not a good use of your money. Especially because you're young, man. Like you're telling me you're 20 years old and you can't get your own Domino's, you can't get your own Panda Express, you can't get your own McDonald's, man. You can't get up off your butt to go get it. You have to pay an extra $5 to $10 to have somebody else grab it for you. I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. Again, maybe for your birthday or other special occasions, DoorDashing is fine, but making this a consistent habit is just a terrible waste of money and it makes me cringe. I'm just gonna be straight up honest. The next purchase that makes me absolutely cringe, especially for 20-year-olds, is microtransactions in video games. I'm not gonna talk about this long because it doesn't apply to everybody, but if you play a video game or maybe even phone games, mobile games, stuff like that, buying in-game currency, skins, man, it's hard to watch. You're a grown man spending $20 on a Fortnite skin? Are you serious? That's absolutely ridiculous in my book, and there's just money could go to so many better things. Again, if it's a game that you absolutely love, it's the only game you play, and you want one skin that you can wear in the game, alright, fine, fair. You can buy one, that's fine. But people that are spending thousands of dollars on microtransactions on video games are absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand it at all. The next purchase is streaming services. Now, again, this is one that's not completely terrible. I understand if you're buying streaming services. However, the way that people go about them, especially at a younger age, makes me cringe completely. If you are 20 years old, you do not need to have 3 different streaming services, because not only should you be busy with other stuff in your life that you don't have time to watch a bunch of movies, it's just also not a great purchase. Each month, pick one service to go with, if even. Try to mooch off your parents as well if they'll let you. Grab their password and their email if you can, but I mean still, even if you're on your own completely, you do not need 3 different streaming services a month. You do not need 4 a month, you need 1. Unless you're an absolute movie nerd, then again, fair enough if that's going to be you, but this is just a big money sink when people just continue 3 subscriptions through 12 months throughout the year and they only really watch 1 to 2 movies a month. You're really just throwing away a bunch of money if you're doing that, so don't do that. The next thing here is very similar. I'm not going to talk about it for long, but it's gym memberships. Now, if you're actively using the gym every single day, keep doing that. It's good for your health, it's good for your sanity, and it's probably worth the money to have a membership. However, for the people that have a gym membership to make themselves feel good and never use the gym, that's the people I'm talking about. Throwing money down the toilet. If you're not going to the gym, don't pay for a gym membership. It's really that simple. I don't even care if it's $5 to $10 a month. If you have it just to say you have it, that's terrible. But if you're an active gym goer and you enjoy going to the gym, you can spend your money on your gym membership. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for the people that don't use it at all, it makes no sense to me and it makes me lose my mind when I see people wasting money on something that they're not even using. It makes no sense to me. One that drives me absolutely nuts though is faster shipping. You know when you go to Amazon and it says deliver in a week, deliver in 5 days, or pay express shipping to get it tomorrow and it's an extra $16.99. Holy cow, we're paying $16.99 to get something to our house a day sooner. Now if it's something you urgently need, once again, I understand that, but most of the time we don't need things that urgently. mean, if we need it that urgently, go to Target and get it. Go to Walmart and get it. Like something, right? There are very few circumstances, I'd say, where there's an urgent need on Amazon and we could only get it on Amazon. So either that or any other shipping platform, right? Don't be paying extra money just to get it faster. It never makes sense and it's not worth the money ever. Our next thing is buying more fast food out to eat when you have leftovers in your fridge. Again, is this a massive deal? No. And if you're already out with your friends and they're all getting food, right, then maybe you can also get some food too. I'm not saying that, but if you're actively going out of your way to get yourself fast food while you have stuff in the fridge you can eat, what are we doing, man? You already have an easy microwavable meal or a heat up meal that you can make in a couple seconds that should hopefully taste good because it's already a meal that you've cooked in the past, so it shouldn't be a bummy meal. And yeah, is it gonna taste as good as it did the first time? Probably not, right? It's probably not, but it's free, right? And so if you don't eat it, all you're gonna be doing is throwing money down the toilet. You're gonna be throwing food down the toilet, and there's just no reason to go out and get more food when you already have food that you need to eat. It's really that simple. Our next thing is buying get-rich-quick courses online. I'm talking about like scam courses, right? There are some actual useful online courses to learn skills, coaching, stuff like that. Like if it's not a scam, it's completely fine. I know a lot of legitimate things that do great things, right? But if it's a thing that's like, yeah, man, you got to pay $250 up front to learn how to day trade cryptocurrency, that's probably not a good idea, right? Another thing that this can bleed into is paying for somebody's sports betting picks. I don't know why people do that, but it makes no sense to me. If somebody is really, really, really great at sports betting, they won't need to sell their picks because they'll make all the money they need to buy sports betting, right? It's really that simple. And when it comes to get rich quick courses, if the courses like actually worked, then the people making the course would be rich, right? So why would they need to sell the course? And if they're selling a course, it shouldn't be at an expensive price. And so it's really that simple, right? Don't buy super overexpensive courses when there's really no promise to them. It's really that simple. Our next thing here is paying for premium versions. This has never made sense to me, right? The first one that I can obviously think of is streaming services. Look, if you can get a streaming service with ads and without ads, go with the one with ads, right? I kind of actually personally like the ad break because it gives me a chance to go to the bathroom or get food or something. And then I'm also paying like $8 to $10 less per month for a streaming service, which is absolutely amazing. That's when I pay for streaming services. Like I said earlier, I think that overall they're kind of dumb, especially for people that are younger. So I don't pay for any ever, and I never would until I grow up a little bit. But that's just me personally. Once again, if you want to buy your streaming service, that's fine. Just buy the lower tier of it, right? And then when it comes to things like dating apps, people are like actively spending money on premium versions for dating apps. That's absolutely ridiculous. This can stretch to other things as well, like ChatGPT Plus. If you're not like using the actual features you get with Plus, you don't need Plus. It's really that simple, right? And I've caught myself doing this as well. I had ChatGPT Plus, but then I was like, I'm not really even using the Plus features. I'm just using ChatGPT a lot. So like I can just use the free version, right? It's that simple, right? Just make sure you're using the things that you're spending money on. It's quite frankly that easy. The next one is social spending guilt. It sounds kind of foo-foo-y, like what am I even talking about? I'm talking about your friends are going out, they're getting beers and drinks at a bar and you feel like you're being left out, so you buy a couple as well, and then all of a sudden you realize, holy cow, these 3 beers cost me $20. That is a lot more money than I thought it was gonna be, right? Like that's the type of situations I'm talking about. And this even goes further of like all your friends are going to an MLB game or an NBA playoff game and you're like, oh, I have to tag along, but the ticket's like $100 to $200, and that's being generous for NBA playoff game, right? But it's like, holy cow, that's a lot of money you're spending on one night just because your friends are doing it. So just make sure if you're gonna spend money, especially when it's a lot of money, that you're actually doing it because you want to do it and not because the people around you are doing it. It's really that simple. I see people getting sucked into purchases that they never wanted to make for themselves just because other people are doing it, and I don't like when that happens, and I don't like seeing that happen. So don't do it if that's you. Our next thing here is accidental auto renewal. Again, nobody wants to accidentally auto renewal things, but to put it simply, it's ludicrous to spend money on things that you're not using. And so when you're accidentally auto renewing things, it's probably because you aren't using it actively and you're like, oh, I didn't even mean to spend that money, right? Here's a simple thing you can do. Go into your bank account app right after watching this video and just scroll, look for purchases that you didn't remember making, and then just check to see if it's a subscription, because if it's something you don't remember remember purchasing, it's most likely a subscription, and it's auto-renewing without you even realizing. So make sure you go and cancel those. You'd be surprised, right? Like, I am really, really good and smart with my money, and I diligently check often, but sometimes I've went back and checked, and I'm like, holy cow, there's a subscription in there I didn't even remember having running, and it's charging me every single month, so I had to go ahead and cancel it. The next one that makes completely no sense to me at all is buying energy drinks. Look, an energy drink from time to time is fine, but the people that are spending money on energy drinks every single day, it doesn't make any sense to me. If you are in your 20s or you're in your 30s, man, this is the most energy you're ever going to have in your life, and you're telling me you have to supplement it with energy drinks or coffee or whatever it is for you? It makes no sense to me. Again, I get the occasional late night study. I get the occasional late night grind of work, right? I understand that, but I'm talking about daily intakes of stuff. Most of the time, I'm pretty sure as well that like the effects wear off on you over time as you get more used to it. So it's not really even doing anything. It's overall not really good for your heart, and you're spending a bunch of money on it too. So just be careful with it, especially at a young age. Just makes no sense to me at all. And then the final thing, it's kind of a funny one, but it makes no sense, is donating to streamers. If you're donating to Mr. Beast, Kai Cenat, Speed, whoever the big streamers are these days, you're throwing water droplets into the ocean. That's all I can really say there. But anyways, that's my little tangent on things you shouldn't be buying. Again, if you're buying some of these, it's fine in moderation, but some of these are absolutely ludicrous. Just make sure you're being smart with your money. It's really that simple. Check out another video of mine on your screen right now. I think you're going to love it. Peace.